Hi, I'm Joseph Bradley, and I want a football team for John Paul Catholic University.
Hi, my name is Stephen Moore, and I want a football team for John Paul the Great Catholic University.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Chardella, and I want a football team for John Paul Catholic University.
We want a football team for John Paul Catholic University.
How you doing, guys? I'm Jonathan Ramirez here with JPCatholic. I personally am a junior here at John Paul the Great Catholic University. And so here behind me you see other students doing jumping jacks. So I actually want to invite you guys to take a step and to take a look into possibly having a football team. So what we want to do and incorporate at JPCatholic is to provide an actual sport team, a sport program. I know in the past we've had Frisbee, but I think flag football would actually be a great addition to that. We've actually had a lot of demand from the students, and you can see behind me, we have some students already working out, so that's doing great. So the prototype was founded by myself, Jonathan Ramirez, Joseph, we got Shane, we got Kyle, and then we got Ryan as well. So there are about 5 of us on that team providing this prototype for you. So our timeline for the actual football team for JPCatholic, by December I want to have approval of being able to have the football team itself, and then by January I want to have the acceptance from using a football field, because as you know, Grape Day is right in front of Latitude, so it's a perfect spot to practice. But we need an actual playing field in order to have our games. So we've actually thought of using SDSU and using San Marcos University, which is a couple minutes away. So we want to have our field, and then we want to have our gear, all our equipment, which will be based off of those sponsorships and our fundraisers. So after getting our field set in stone, getting our gears next, and then what we later want to do is actually start recruitment. So recruitment is very important because we want to have, a good team. Otherwise, we won't be very good, and teams don't want to play us. So we want to recruit for our quarterback, receivers, everything, our defensive line, everything. So with that, by January, we'll already have our acceptance for our to use fields, and then we'll already have our recruitment process. We'll already have our teams, and then by February, we would already have our set schedule, which actually consists of having other Christian and Catholic smaller universities. We would have a network to have every single little school and have our teams, and that's when we would join together, and that's when we'll have our games. So practicing, we already got that set in stone, and then once we have our network of those other schools to play against, we'll start playing them in SSU or even San Marcos for whenever they're home games for us. So hopefully they can find a field to play on. If not, we can use the ones that we already mentioned. So by February, we already have our schedule set in stone, and then by September of 2021, we would already start having our games. That's the plan. 1, 2, 3,
Pelicans!
So just like the film Unspoken has its achievements, I believe that a football team at JPCatholic also has the potential to reach certain achievements as well. We also have other films here. We can have our own football team posted on these walls, have our own posters too. Having relays of our practices, even our games. Maybe we can attract more students here, more donors. So one of the first core values I want to share with you is the value that we have that we find in Christ. Christ shows us how to be Catholics and then just how to be better people.
So another value I want to share for our football team is respect. We want to have respect for ourselves, our teammates, the staff themselves, but then also the other team. Because the other team, even though we are playing against them, we're not at war, but we're challenging them in a football game. We want to have respect for one another. We don't want to disrespect each other in any way, physically or even verbally, because we know sometimes that could happen. So I always remember in high school, actually, my team for baseball and basketball, we'd always pray before and after, even if we won the game and even if we lost it. So it was always a way to give thanks, so that's what we want to incorporate here in this JP Catholic football team. The next value I want to share is perseverance. So life usually puts us down, but we want to help and teach perseverance, being able to push through our games, and that ties in with losing our games. Sometimes we'll feel down, but we have to keep moving forward and we have to take our next step. The next value is loyalty. Loyalty teaches us to be very respectful, obviously towards everyone else, but loyalty in terms of being there for everyone else that looks up to us. And then the last point I want to share is leadership. Leadership is very important because we always have people looking up to us, and then we're always looking up to other people. Christ is the number one leader that we have in our lives and should have in our lives. So how we want to incorporate that in our JP Catholic football team is to live by these core values on and off the field, just as we've seen many other athletes do so. We have Philip Rivers, like I mentioned before, and we also have Kobe Bryant. He went to Mass the day before he died, but he still lived a Catholic life. He wasn't perfect, but he tried his very best. So we want to be athletes, sharing the culture for Christ with these particular values in mind.
So, in order to finance the JP Catholic football program, we actually thought of fundraising and then also looking for sponsorships. So, in order to do that, we would be able to do cookouts along with just bake sales here at the school. And then with the sponsorships, I actually look to branch out into other businesses and to other organizations that are willing to help smaller schools. And hopefully with funding and approval through the school, I also want to incorporate the ability to share in the culture for Christ. So apart from our academics, apart from the school itself, I want to be able to share the gospel through football. So God gave us abilities and talents, so why not use them for His greater honor and glory? So being able to have a network with other universities, they can be Catholic or even Christian universities. I want to establish a network of smaller universities, either Christian or Catholic, and then we can build up from there. So I really think this plan could work, and there is obviously a lot of demand for a football team because apart from Frisbee, like I mentioned before, football is actually really fun. And if you're a football fan out there, I'm pretty sure you want to get on this too.
Remember, go Pelicans.